Hello everybody, it's the Cactus Atlas, your favorite show hopefully, and we've got a special episode today, one of those update-ish kind of videos, and we have a very special guest that we have brought along today for the ride, the ever-elusive Amy. So welcome. I can't believe it. Yeah, I didn't even ask.
I'm live.
Wanted to be here today to help answer questions and talk about some stuff, so thank you. I can't wait. We're gonna go off pavement for a quick, just casual drive and a chat. So stick around, and we're gonna be answering some questions we've gotten and talking about some user feedback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for this chat today, I've selected what's supposed to be a moderate, maybe easy to moderate route. We'll find out. I never know what to think with these ratings on Onyx anymore. They're so subjective. But anyway, we should be having a turn anytime. I know sometimes it's like slightly delayed. There should be a dirt road somewhere. Is that it right there? That would be it, I think.
Oh.
No, we're good. It just looks weird because we got to turn abruptly this way, I guess.
Whee!
Or are we done? I think this is correct. So anyway, I think this is called like the West Vistancia loop. Like a 3 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10 on Onyx, and
With that.
It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. This
I
could be an 8 out of 10 at some point.
Like that Sasco loop was rated a 4 out of 10, and then Senator Highway is now a 4 out of 10. And
yeah.
by the time you see this video, you'll be able to decide for yourself which one's a 4.
Yeah. But okay, Amy, you ready to do this off-road route?
Oh yeah.
Hopefully I don't scare you today.
Hey.
If it ends up being worse than it said, I'm sorry.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I'm not afraid, but you don't go out as much as I do these days.
No, I don't.
I think
I'm working on the channel.
Yeah, I might have some old mines over there, but we're not going to get on foot, really. We're just going to talk and drive and keep it super cash, by the way, right? This is not scripted. We have a general idea of how we want to approach the subject matter today, but, you know, if we stumble over our words, we're going to probably just keep rolling most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not used to this, so.
Yeah, that's true, too. So,
I'm not used to a camera.
But so far, I'd say the road is, if it's like this,
It's pretty decent, yeah.
It's not bad. The most pressing subject I wanted to talk about, and we have got a variety of things to discuss, I think, but the biggest one is Slim and AI narration, the big subject, I think, where we get the most feedback.
It's very
probably
polarized.
It is kind of polarized. It's just like politics. But it's okay though. So I think, you know, maybe the way what I want to talk about is why we're playing around with it, and really where we plan on taking it, and how it came to be in the first place, which was kind of maybe a little bit of an interesting, funny story. And then other random things we're going to talk about. So, but anyway, we're just checking our map out because we're confused for a minute. Onyx has the GPS just has a habit of it's like a delayed update, even when you've got a good signal. I don't really know why. But anyway, we're not here to bitch about technology today. Or maybe we are, AI narration, huh?
Yeah.
So, and Slim and all that. So
Nice segue.
why don't I tell the origin story, just maybe to set the context a little bit of how we got started with that.
Okay.
So I knew, I think it was actually some channel or some creator you were in a discussion group with that was doing like, you know, AI, that does AI generated content, really kind of cool. I really dug it, and you go ahead and talk about that.
I was just going to say that's where I became kind of aware of the text-to-speech and that particular website that we use.
Which is?
11 Labs.
11 Labs. It's gotten some press recently too, but well, let's just stay on the subject for today.
No politics.
Yeah, but anyway, we played around with it. I think there was a free trial thing, and I was like, oh, cool. So then I think the first time we used it was in the Gold Dome Mill video, and I did a quick intro with it wasn't Slim. It just wanted to play around because it sounded like a professional narrator to me, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And that was that basically, and I don't think I really thought much else. But look at this hill you got coming up here. Are we going up the hill or are we going to the right?
Who knows?
All right, I think we're going up the hill.
Yay! Everybody put your hands up. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, this is a steep one.
Yeah.
But it's not the Nelson roller coaster. This is going to be a very disjointed conversation because we're going to go in and out of having to pay attention to the off-roading. That wasn't bad, but anyway, so now I lost my train of thought. We're talking
about how you started using the AI voice.
The AI voice. So it was just and that's probably going to be the end of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just something that was just like, oh, that's fun. Let's try it.
Yeah, and I think from there, so the first video that Slim appears on is the Wallapai Mountain off-road drive, and that wasn't the original intent. I didn't go out there and filmed it to use the AI voice. I hadn't connected the two things until after I had filmed. I had, I think, a fleeting thought one time of, trying to think of a shtick or something different and interesting to do. And being a child of the 1980s, having, grown up with Knight Rider, I was like, I could have, my truck might have a voice. Fleeting thought, though. It was, and I tried, just something that I entertained for a split second, didn't think about, didn't have plans to do. So that day I went there, it was the end of a big trip I did them in the Mojave Desert, and I did a lot of off-roading, and with me, just my usual thing where I'm driving and I record hours of conversation that she has to go and tell them about that. I talk a lot, and I brute force it. I'm just like, there'll be something good in there, but
yeah, and you have a tendency not to pause a lot, so I'm like, where do I cut? But anyway, Wallapai.
Yeah, so Wallapai, it was that style. I was kind of recording and rolling just like we are now and talking, but the day didn't go according to plan. I was expecting a nice sunny day.
It was supposed to be a completely different video, to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah. And then basically I had a stop in mind at the end of the trip that I didn't make. And, I was complaining the whole time about the weather. Slim makes fun of me for that, but it was the truth. And I got home and I told Amy, I dropped off all the footage from that trip. And I said, that's the last one. When you get to it, we might have to talk about what to do with that video. Because, I don't feel good about what I filmed. So anyway, so I do the video and then it sits, because Amy had several other to edit first. And then eventually I'm like, what, maybe I had the experience doing this. I don't know what we're gonna do with this. I'll think of something. And then that's where Slim came to be. I just pulled up that program and then wrote a few lines, and plugged it in and started to see a conversation almost. Like Slim was talking about the trip retrospectively from his perspective, and that allows me to write self-deprecating humor about myself, and
it allows me to write self-deprecating.
Yeah, but
not really self-deprecating,
but I did this.
I can poke fun at you.
I did this thing though, and I thought, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then usually the way Amy and I work, if she edits something or I edit something, we don't really show each other the work until it's done and uploaded on YouTube, and then we have a viewing together and we sit down and
it's an event.
It's an event. It kind of is. Sometimes we have dinner and do it. It's fun. It's my favorite part, actually. And we watched the video, and I honestly didn't think you were gonna. I thought you thought I was gonna be dumb, and I was just curious. I was nervous, and then her reaction was, you loved it.
I loved it because I was figuring that it was just gonna be another video that we'd have to scrap.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what are we going to do with this? Because it's technically the end of a road trip.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it was the last video of that series, and and then she liked it. So I was like, okay. But then I thought we were just going to get slammed, plastered to the wall by all of you guys saying this is just absolutely dumb. And we've heard a couple of those, and I would say people have been very courteous, though. I've not encountered any rudeness. I don't read all the comments all the time. I can't, but everybody's been very courteous and honest. I appreciate honest feedback like that, and I get it too. So it's part of why I want to do this, is everybody's been so courteous, and we want to talk about expectations, I guess, going forward. I have to pay attention. This is pretty rutted. I'd say I'd give this a 3 to 4 out of 10 so far.
Yeah.
Nothing horrible,
nothing
but
technical. Just have to pay attention.
Yeah, but that's why. Yeah, but that's a good example. Like you saw that Sasco loop thing. That's a 4 out of 10, and this thing's had a lot of steepness to it and very different experience. So technically this is a 3 out of 10, where Sasco's a 4 out of 10. A lot of subjectivity to these ratings, I guess. Okay, so gonna always have to kind of backtrack and remember where we left off in the conversation when we get distracted here by little fun parts like this.
Welcome to Glenn's brain.
Welcome to Glenn's brain. That's why you're here, to keep us on track today. But basically we made Slim, right? And then to our surprise, we got more positive feedback about it than not. And I would say it was not only just in comments, but even in our personal lives, I think. You know, your parents, I think, said nice things about it, and
Yeah.
you know, and you're like, oh, okay, so maybe there's something, a little something here. But then I was thinking, oh darn, I'm very test oriented because I think of my career, and I don't want to make a determination after just one video. But you know, we use views and you know how many subscribers we get from a video as, you know, measurements of if it's good or not. Retention, and that did a little bit better than the average, I say. But unfortunately, or I would say not unfortunately, I had that whole Northern California, more traditional style, all me, no Slim, because I didn't even take Slim on that trip. I took the old company car that we don't have anymore up.
Yeah, we didn't mention that before.
That's fine. Maybe we'll skip that for now, but
you know.
Yeah, you know.
That's why it's not around.
Yeah, but anyway. So we had, I don't know how many weeks when we started releasing that November trip, but it was months of content, really. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I need to remind very quickly, because we have a lot of new viewers, of how we work, but just to summarize, though, you know, you didn't see Slim for a very long time, and I was thinking behind the scenes, gosh darn it, because we were starting to see some success in multiple areas around that. I'll get to that. And fast forward to like now, well, not fast forward to now, there's another aspect that involves Slim that I'll talk about here. Sorry, I'm gonna let you do all the talking, because I am like, I'm sitting here like white knuckled a little bit.
I know. I
can't see. It's hard.
I could just see you filling time with words as we're navigating the ruts.
Yeah. See, we're gonna just keep all this in though, just because it's raw and real and fun.
Yeah.
So, if you watched our November vlog, we usually do update videos only once a year, so we're breaking tradition a little bit with this one. But if you watch that, I had mentioned I had been part of a really large corporate layoff. This road is in bad shape over here, but we got this.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. And at the end of that, I had mentioned, you know, I was fortunate to have good severance, I would say, and whatnot. So, and you know, we've saved a lot of money. We're good over here, nothing to worry about. But I said I wanted to take maybe a month or two, you know, to help grow the channel a little bit. But really what Amy and I were talking about, this is the ironic part, is for November and December are historically, at least for the Cactus Atlas, our worst months every year, because we don't do trending holiday content. And everybody's mind, I don't think, is focused on the outdoors as much. So, and I figured, hey, we're releasing Northern California content like right when winter is about to start. We are idiots.
Ideal.
But we have no choice.
I know, it's just like, tune in summer when we continue this like ancient road trip.
Yeah, so I was thinking, okay, we're about to go into our worst 2 months. What if we kind of revisit shorts, which is something we had dabbled with a long time ago. I didn't see any results from it. I think we kind of went about it the wrong way, but you know, anyway, so I did like no Slim still, but I don't remember the first one I did, the Burrow-Schmidt tunnel or something, and released it. Yeah, and I was like, oh, you know, you get the little spurt with the shorts, but you know, the subscriber count we got a lot of subscribers really quick in a burst.
Somehow.
And then we started seeing that pattern happen with our shorts, right?
Yeah.
So I started thinking, okay, this is awesome. And we were using old footage from trips years ago, and kind of, you know, summarizing what could have been a 40-minute long video in a 60-minute thing, because I talk a lot.
60 seconds.
60-second thing, yeah, thank you. Whoa, this is a pretty rough part here, but we got this.
You got it, Slim.
So anyway, now you know that was kind of the intent going into the holidays. So when I said we were going to grow our channel a little bit, I was more thinking, let's just keep afloat from what our expectations are. And then we started using this old content and making shorts. And then I started thinking, AI will make this easier. It wasn't really even about like promoting Slim as a character. It was more about I can crank out more shorts doing AI where I'm, you know, let me let people know this too. Like, I'm not letting you talk at all.
No, you never do. But I'm also the quiet one.
That's true. So please interject.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? You cannot see over the hood of the car, you know, when you're doing that. Or the truck. It's not a car. But, you know.
The hood of Slim.
The hood of Slim, yes.
He's an entity.
But basically using AI narration, you write, you can do a word processor, whatever you want. Copy, paste the text into the tool we use, click generate, and it creates a sound file. That sound file happens to, like, the peaks are pretty nice, right? It's just one stop, bam, you're done.
Don't worry about like recording over and over again.
Yeah, messing up being a human. My tongue feels fat in my mouth today. I can't talk. That sounds horrible. That happens once in a while. Though I'm like, what's going on when I talk too much?
So that's an everyday thing for you.
See what I have to deal with, but I bring it on, though, don't I? So
Slim comes natural to me.
So,
but anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say.
See, it's hard, isn't it?
As far as using the AI voice of Slim and stuff like that for videos and shorts and stuff, it also allows me to be able to like help him, because otherwise, you know, if he was having to record the narration for all that, I'd be sitting forever waiting.
That's true.
Like, I gotta go film today. Okay, well, I gotta edit.
Yeah. Now, fast forward, I guess, rewind now to the New Year's thing. I decided I wanted to get Slim in there again to see if, you know, there was anything to the Wallapai Mountains video, right?
Right.
And I did that top 10 Southwest off-roading video. Once again, all old footage, all old trips from within that year. So not that old really, but that video for us, once again, I'm not talking about people that are expecting millions of views on their video, but for our expectations, I think that video is over 85,000, 90,000 views.
Which to me is a lot.
For me, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
Like when you compare it to everything else. So, so there's an example. And then that's still not good enough for me. I can't see. Can you see?
That way.
I see. I got it. I'm on track. But we released last week, I think, was a new one, the first one that came out after that California trip, right? The Sasco Loop.
Yes.
I was joking with you, even saying, you know, I'm fascinated with old history, but let's be like that smelter. If you know the history, it's more fascinating, but it's concrete. It doesn't look real old. It could have been made 10 years ago. And I was like, if we can make that interesting, this video with this, you know, empty lot of a nuclear missile silo, if we can make this interesting and get more views, then we're on to something, I think, maybe. But I don't think we have enough data, I guess, is where I'm trying to get us to make a solid determination as to what works and what doesn't work.
True.
Right? So with that being said, the next thing we're going to want to talk about is like, how do we balance both and how do we measure over the long term, and what can people expect, I think, is kind of what I wanted to go to.
Okay. Let's start.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to let Amy, I'm going to let her talk because I'm going to focus on the driving.
Right. So I guess what Glenn was alluding to is what to expect in the future. We've got ideas. I mean, we're tinkering around, but we're also just testing things out, seeing how they're received. And I mean, what we've done so far really isn't enough for us to really know.
Agreed.
You know, because and not to mention that, but comments, they're kind of like a few compared to the masses.
That's a good point.
So you never really know, like, if someone's out there saying, hey, I really hate this, or hey, I really love it, and they just decide not to comment. So it's hard to really judge what a reaction is just based on that. So all we have really to go on is, you know, the statistics as far as how many views did it get, how long did people watch, you know, what kind of likes did we get, or engagement. That's typically what YouTubers kind of go on. Right? So I mean, if you feel very strongly, please let us know what your thoughts are. We're trying to keep a balance though, so that we still have content where it's just you doing your thing and other stuff like that. But having the AI voice, it does help me a lot in terms of just being able to get the content out. You know, we do have all this old content. I know a lot of people probably haven't even seen it. So it kind of helps put that out. And not to mention, but having, like, going back over the old footage and stuff like that, we can make it a lot more concise. Because funny enough, another comment that we used to get a lot early on was, you talk too much.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. I mean, you can never please whatever that saying is. You're not going to please everybody all the time. If I don't do Slim, then I talk too much.
I know.
If I do Slim, it's AI, it's evil, or it's
well, we could always just do an AI voice of you.
That's what I was going to say. We can use the software. I actually did that. It wasn't I didn't have enough content to let it analyze me,
Yeah.
but yeah, would that be a compromise? AI Glenn? I don't know. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's lazy at that
Yeah.
point, but you know.
And then I could try narrating, but then some people are just like, where's Glenn?
Yeah. Okay, so trying to get back on track with the conversation. I think to summarize what to expect, at least I want to reiterate one other thing too, is that there's an enjoyment. We're having fun. Like, I personally enjoy doing the slim stuff. I think you do too, right? So,
yeah, and it
as a content
allows
creator,
it allows us to inject some humor.
It does.
Here and there,
Yeah. So what to expect though? Here's what I'm gonna say. Like, I'm kind of a believer, and YouTube. Hey, there's a porta potty right here, and I have to pee. I'm sorry. All right, now I'm summarizing what I think I've said 10 times already, but we keep having to stop. So I'm going to pick up here. Long term, I think if we were wise and wanted to be successful YouTubers, the best strategy, they say, meaning YouTube and what I think we've seen, is find a niche and stick to it, and don't kind of spread yourself too thin. There's a really sharp rock right there, man. And get over these guys here. Find a niche. So in our case, probably doing the Glenn stuff and then the slim stuff, and like attracting like one audience that likes off-roading and slim, and another audience is probably not the best idea. It's like whatever is working better, whatever we're having the most fun with, long term, we should be working towards that. But
Right.
I think we enjoy doing both, but I think the thing I like about slim is I like the aspect of writing a character in. It
Yeah.
makes it more interesting and succinct.
And it also creates kind of more of a dynamic whenever you are out by yourself.
I think so.
On these things.
I think so. So in the meantime, what it really is going to be about for us more than anything is continue to release one day of the week. Like she said earlier, don't know if it'll be Thursday now or Monday, one or the other. I think she's going to probably do all of the editing on one of the days of the week, and it might be Glenn's road
Right.
trip days and other things you're used to. And then the other day will be like what you saw last Thursday with the Sasco loop, if you are familiar with that, where it's more of an interaction between me and Slim. Probably not like the Monument Valley one that you just did, which was all Slim, and she explained
Yeah.
her rationale for why sometimes we have to do that. But if it's more of a vacation thing, if I was the one there, I should be speaking more to the experience, because I had that. But so I think you're going to get that balance for now. But behind the scenes, we're going to be, watching the numbers and see what works, and maybe moving towards that one day. So if you feel strongly about one over the other, you engage with us, right? Engage with us all the time, and just continue to let us know what you like and what you don't like. And we'll just work through it, and we'll have fun in the meantime, hopefully. Please.
Goodness gracious!
This is pretty rough here. This is a rough, deteriorated. All right, I could use your eyes on the right to make sure I don't scrape my truck.
You're good. You've got like 2-3 feet.
Okay. Thank you. This is rough.
Yeah.
That was tough right there. There's a steep drop off to the left, so I think that was the worst of it.
distracted me.
Woo. I know this is hard to talk and do this like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't want to flip the truck either. It feels like it was leaning a lot. We were a lot of off camber here, like right here,
Yeah.
and on a very narrow. If someone were to come now, this would be sucky.
Yeah.
All right, I wasn't expecting this much of a thrill, so I'm just going to record the thrill for a minute. You can see Amy and I, and Amy's
Being
reaction.
tossed around.
Amy's reaction is probably worth it alone, I'm going to guess. But I think hopefully that was the worst right there.
Yeah.
Whew, that was fun. I mean, it really wasn't that bad, but
Oh my God.
yeah, Amy and I stopped at the top of the pinnacle of this hill. She's about to have some fun, I think, but this is pretty steep. But the view is spectacular. Like we see the canal,
Yeah.
one of the canals. So
You can see the road winding.
you see the road winding down, and I think we'll be okay. But she's got the
yeah.
drop off on her side now, so you have.
It's at least a gentle drop.
It is. We'd only roll like a
Couple times.
a couple times down. No, more than a couple. We'll get back to our normally scheduled program once we get off of this mountain here. In the meantime, we'll just film it. give you guys a little bit of adventure today.
I don't have an poop handle.
Wasn't there a handle there? No, I guess
There's
not.
like here, but
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. So this is steep. They weren't kidding about the, the
Elevation changes?
the abrupt, elevation changes up and down, but it's fun. It's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Like that Nelson roller coaster-y kind of fun.
But I guess to get back to Slim and just the content that you can expect in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic here. Right now we're putting all of our effort into the channel, but kind of as Glenn mentioned, in the past, that this isn't forever as far as him not working. So that's going to change, and that's obviously going to affect our time and filming availability and things such as that. So
that's actually a great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So while we can say that, for now, this is how things will be and how we expect it to be, I can't say 6 months from now what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would say inevitably that day is coming, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's a really super important thing I personally wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Really quick because I said some things a few months ago, and say a couple of quick things now.
Okay.
On that note, because of the, I would say, at our scale, what we consider success, we found a lot more success, increasing our release schedule, both even in terms of ad revenue, way over what we were budgeting for, which is great, right? That's good news. I don't see YouTube, even if we had 100,000 subscribers, I don't think I could earn my earning potential as being a developer, right? So. And I want to get to retirement, and the whole point of this thing has been to do a slow burn, so that maybe 10 years from now we would
be ahead of the game.
Make some kind of moderate income, nothing crazy. Or I don't want huge success, right? It's never been. In fact, we don't want.
I certainly don't. This was never in my plans.
And it's weird. I'm just like you. I want like some success so we can like DIY it, but I never want it to become so big, which is ironic because other people want that,
Yeah.
But anyway, now I keep going in and out of focus and not. Yeah, one thing Amy just reminded me of, there is something important I want to talk about. She wants to talk about is you may have noticed in our Sasko video, like a couple of you mentioned, is there Cactus Atlas merch coming out? Because we got t-shirts. I don't think you can see it because I'm zoomed in a little bit here. But this is another one. The answer is yes. But we're testing our products out. Coming soon.
To a website near you.
Yeah. I bought a couple different varieties of shirts from print on demand. And we're testing it, like wearing it, wash. This is the third wash on this t-shirt. I got another one I bought, like a fitted version. So I don't want to peddle trash, basically.
Yeah.
We want to peddle quality.
We don't want anybody having scratchy shirts.
Yeah, and we also want to offer a couple different options for different budgets and things like that. So you'll have some Cactus Atlas branded gear, t-shirts probably, but that's not really the long-term vision at all for what we want to do.
No, it's a little bit more than that.
It is, but that's way too much to talk about today. But what I can hint at is it's taking the idea of what we've already started and, making it a little bit more into a smaller business, to have different revenue streams and maybe integrate technology. I've got some ideas for things around applications and things that I want to do specifically for this, which scratches my itch for being a developer. So actually, Amy just said something that is more true than real, and I know she didn't intend for it to be on video, and she's gonna have to do a beep on this one because I don't know a better way to say it. Being a YouTuber is like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks.
It is, and the wall always changes.
It does. Sorry, I thought that was funny and like perfect. That you couldn't say it better than that. But it kind of is. That's Slim. Slim stuck to the wall. What does that mean about Slim?
At the wall.
And he's stuck.
I'm sorry, Slim. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know if you're having the same paranoia that I always get every time I make a video like this. It's so rambly, it's so interrupted. You know, it's
Yeah.
like we film, we stop because I got to deal with this obstacle that I'm going home thinking this is a disaster. It's not going to make any sense, but I think it will. It always
Yeah.
does. I don't
And
know.
I'm so not used to talking about
Yeah.
subjects on the fly.
Yeah.
Because shocker, I'm really introverted, in case you didn't know.
And not only that,
Very shy.
and not only that, I bring you out here to try to talk.
Right, you're like, okay, here's a topic, go.
Yeah.
What? Well, right now I'm trying to make sure I don't fall off the ledge.
So we talked about Slim, you know, and we're basically saying that, hey, nobody's really ever lost anything, really. You're going to get one or the other for now. Probably going to be taking a road trip like in the next week or two, I would say. You know, I've got some ideas of where I want to go. But, okay, this is pretty steep. I'm going to need you. I need a spotter for the first time.
Oh, sweet.
There is maybe about a 1.5 foot dip on a very sharp corner. I think I've got plenty of clearance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big stair step here. Better safe than sorry. All right, I'm gonna start coming.
Try to like aim that way.
Aim to the right, like.
Yeah, because it's like a little smooth to the left of this drop off.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go really slow. We won't have to use the. Oh yeah, look at that. So, do I got room? You think here? I can come left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Left.
Let's make sure I don't tip or something weird. I'm still okay?
You're still okay. You're far away from that.
I am? Okay. Oh God. Wow, that was scary. Felt the car was on 3 wheels or 2. Oh, that was quite a little turn. I mean, that was really, I don't know what you could see, but I felt the car was kind of balanced on not all 4 wheels for a second there.
Yeah.
It's always hard to tell because it feels like you're gonna tip over, but it's like you're probably far from it. But I've had that sensation a couple times, especially when you're alone though, it's worse.
Yeah.
Well, you got the drone. When I got the drone, I'm good, but now I can't see over the hood. There we go. Okay. This is a fun one. We're doing good though. I think we're kind of on the closing part of the loop now and trying to avoid scratching my car up too bad. There's some barbed wire fence right there.
Yeah, that's a little bit worse than just a bush.
And the Phoenix Canal's like running right up here now.
Yeah.
So I would say, you know,
You buy the ho-ho gum.
definitely you guys compare this road, rated a 4 out of 10, Sasco Loop 4 out of 10, and now you understand why if you watch that video, I'm like, Like one of them's not a 4 out of 10. I don't know which one, what you guys think, but those Onyx off-road ratings are so subjective and very wildly that it's just, I am almost at the point where, you know, it means almost nothing at times. Thought of one thing really important that we had talked about earlier that I need to talk about, and that's in the upcoming weeks especially, maybe even as soon as next Monday, I think. Well, this is going to come out, but maybe the Monday after that or after that. I'm going to be doing some special videos that I've wanted to do for a very long time and just haven't been able to fit them in because of the road trips, and now's an opportune time. So with all this content stuff we're talking about, you will see some, it'll be me talking, but I'm going to be talking about, one thing we'll talk about is the setup we're using here to film. So one of our,
we've had some questions about what we use and how we do that.
And I wanted to do that for a long time because I'm advocating a safe way of doing something, I think. So it's just something I want to advocate and I think is important. Another thing I'm going to definitely talk about, and I've told other people in the comments probably a couple months ago, I'm going to be doing a video about my experience as a certified remote drone pilot. And the point of that video is going to be, I want to be an advocate. I'm starting to become an advocate, a positive advocate for flying a drone to encourage some of you YouTubers that I have very specific YouTubers in mind that I think have drones. I've seen them use drones, but I suspect they don't because of what you have to do to get certified. So I
can't see anything.
I can. I mean, it's, as long as we're sure this is the road. I mean, we're not. I think we are.
I think so, even though it's like showing us to the right of the road.
This is really hard to do because these surprises just come out of nowhere.
Surprise!
But see how we're not like on there. It's like we're to the right of where the road should be. It's not like our GPS. The GPS is a little off, so I'm gonna guess it's here to the left. Anyway, drone. Yeah. So I feel I'm very passionate about it, especially with the certification and knowledge that I've gotten. And I want to be a voice of encouragement because I think having a drone for us increased our views. I think once we started using a drone more, it just looks good. So I think it can only help. And I think others should pursue it, but there's a little bit of doing.
It's time consuming.
It can, yeah, it is. If you're going to do it right, in my opinion. But so expect that video maybe in the next couple weeks. Finally, I'm going to work on that. Main point being, there's going to be things like that that I've wanted to do. It has nothing to do with slim or not slim. We're not testing a new format. They're just little public service messages or, you know, stuff like that. Subject we can kind of circle back around on with AI, just in general, I think is of interest is, and probably maybe one of the reasons people don't like it, I think, is as a distrust. And I think it's an important subject, and I think it is something that should be scrutinized. There's an interesting story about the software we use, 11 Labs. I saw on the news, you saw it with me, that
I did.
Yeah, basically the way it works is I could like upload recordings of myself, for example, and the more the better, and it will like record my voice and stuff and then basically make an AI voice version of me. That sounds like me, but I've played with it. You could tell it's not 100%, maybe because I didn't give it enough data to work with. But people are doing that with like political figures like Biden, for example. And there's a company making robocalls that recorded a message in Biden's voice using the software we use. So I think really what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of more like moral issues or things that need to be with technology. It could be used for entertainment like Slim, or for, you know, fun reasons, or it could be very damaging. And I think I'm scared. It ties
so close to like the deep fakes and using AI art, AI models, things like that. And
it has to converge, I would think, on like to a point where maybe we as humans can't discern between what's truth and reality.
Which is, I admit, I fully agree with most people. That's terrifying.
It is, absolutely. So I think that might be part of it. Now, I don't like the term AI though, because it makes it sound like it's smarter than I think it actually is. The programming that goes into it, I'm sure, is genius, but it's not some self-thinking thing. And to be clear, I think my dad was asking me this. No, the voice, when you hear me talking to Slim and having a conversation, I'll do behind the scenes maybe. It's not like some autonomous thing it's written. He's a character. It's like a script for a movie. You know what I mean? It's not like something it's not like Siri, I guess is a good way to put it. Right. You know, it's not Siri with an old man's voice. It's not that sophisticated, really. So,
typing.
And I can make you a solemn promise: we will never use technology like that for malign purposes. But I guess if maybe to spark some more conversation in the comments about it, is it just I don't know, just I guess the artificialness of it, does it make it any better if it's a character? It's like Kit from Knight Rider. That's really why I was thinking it's a little bit different and better. It's not just, you know, how people use it just to like spam the internet with content. You know, it's not that purpose. It's I think that you might have saved the best for last here, Amy. This might be one of the times where I might want to put this guy into 4 low. We'll see if we get some slippage here.
Okie dokie.
I suspect we will, which is okay. That's not as steep as it looked from back there, is it? She's... Oh, fun times. Low and slow is a good policy. But I think there's a lot of grip because a lot of the dirt's falling off the road here. So
there's a lot of harder rock.
You know what? We're almost there. All right, yep, there you go.
Snip.
This is what happens sometimes. Like on whatchamacallit, on the Nelson roller coaster.
Yeah.
So we are now in 4 low, and whoa. But you got to put it back in drive first before you go. See, he's gripping to the hill pretty good, but
Yeah.
This is pretty,
Put it in drive.
You want to drive?
No, I said put it in drive.
I'll be happy to
roll
let you,
down the hill.
I'll be happy to let you take a pull on this if you want.
Oh, that's okay.
It's fun, man. Not really. This part is where I don't like it because I can't see up and over the hill very good. So I'm gonna go. So I guess if we could offer anything of value today to the audience, it's that Onyx ratings don't really mean that much.
Exactly. Don't
Although maybe some do. I've never attempted like an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. And
take your Mazda Miata off-roading. It's totally fine.
Now, if anybody watches this though, and then they ask the question like, "Oh, you think I could drive my car back there?" And that's kind of.
I never know how to answer those questions because I'm not familiar with those vehicles.
I think the answer is almost anything, even including this road, like your Volkswagen Golf. In theory, if you go slow enough or whatever, I think if it was a life or death situation, is it possible? Yes, but what you're gonna mess your car up, you're gonna mess your something bad. You're asking for problems, and you're probably gonna. I mean, even if you could navigate it so you don't, drag the bottom of your car, why would you want to? I guess is unless we create a new YouTube channel that's more about let's see like the dinkiest car we can do on the different off-road routes. Ooh.
We don't have a disposable income.
No, we don't. Anybody want to crowdfund that?
Like, that would require a disposable income and tons of money to get things towed.
Yeah, but I would, but see, here's the thing though, it's like maybe it's an investment. Who would want to see me drive a Yugo if we could find one that works through this and see if we can actually get it done? I mean, I think there's something there. It's like take the biggest piece of junk you can find and off-road it.
Sure.
Break it.
Sure.
I'd watch that. If anybody's done that, let us know, because I totally would watch that if it's good.
We should get your old car back.
Oh, the Honda. I would feel so sad. I wouldn't have the heart to. I love that car, but it was like a 2-seater Honda CRZ.
You couldn't even get out of the driveway without bottoming.
That's true. I couldn't. It was so low to the ground. We have like a curb, and it's just you had to angle it, but you'd always scrape the bottom. I think we're here. This is I think that's where we went. That's the loop, and we did it. High five. We did it. Team Cactus Atlas without Slim. See, it is possible to do it without Slim. And I guess to answer the person that's going to ask the question while I'm thinking about it, do I need 4-wheel drive on this one? I would say my personal opinion after you saw like the slipping, right, and the 4 low, and wanting that grip, I'm going to just say yeah. I mean,
and when I was getting out on foot, I mean the dirt is definitely loose.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a thin layer of like loose fine powder.
It helps, but that you could probably traverse into. I mean, I could probably do most of this in 2-wheel drive, but there are those spots, yeah. And you're right. And then when you're on a hill too, that loose dirt makes you slip.
Yep.
All right, it's the final moments for real this time. Amy and I are going to say goodbye. I'm going to let you end this one, Amy.
Aww.
Go ahead.
I blinked. Stage fright. Well, we've had fun, and we've been having fun. We will continue to have fun, and hopefully you guys will stick around and like, share, subscribe. No,
yeah, that's good to say. Yeah, if you like me better, go get more of your friends to subscribe, and then.
Oh my God, I can't take it anymore with all the blah blah blah. See folks, maybe I'm not so bad after all. Subscribe and tune in next time. Maybe I'll be here or maybe not. Or maybe I'll turn into the voice of a political figure, so be careful what you ask for. Heh heh.